welcome back to another video. My name is Jill and today I'm going to be doing my November TBR video, so let's get started. So I sort of have an ambitious November TBR just because I know I'm going to be way less busy than I have been for the past few months because I've been doing this play and it's been taking up all my time, but now the month of November should be sort of a period that I can read more than I have been because I'm finally done with my play. And yeah, so I have 2 buddy reads that I'm doing this month along with some book club books that I have to read and just some books that I really want to get to and that I've been wanting to get to but just have not had time to get to. So yeah, I'm just going to jump right in so that this video is not super long because like I said, I do have a bunch of books that I want to talk about because I am sort of being kind of ambitious for myself compared to the previous months just because I'm going to have more time. So yeah. So I'm actually filming this on November 6th, so I actually have already read one book and I'm sort of in the middle of another book. So I'm not going to go into a bunch of my thoughts because that's going to be saved for my November wrap-up, but I have finished Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. Oh my god, this is the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series. If you guys haven't been following this channel for long, I reread Crown of Midnight and Throne of Glass, and now I'm finally moving on with the books that I haven't read yet. So this is the first time that I've read this book and it's so... I'm not even going to get into it. I'm going to get into my wrap-up, but oh my god. And then I am also currently reading History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. I was lucky and blessed enough to get an ARC of this book from my local bookstore because the booksellers down there are just amazing and they know how much I love Adam Silvera. So when this ARC came in, they saved it for me and gave it to me. And yeah, this book is so good. It comes out on January 17th, so it's not out yet. And I'm about like almost halfway through, probably like a third of the way through. And the premise of this book is fascinating. Basically it follows these 2 boys, Theo and Griffin, and they were boyfriends, but then they end up breaking up, and then Theo moves out to California and gets a new boyfriend, and actually he dies when he's in California, and that's not a spoiler because it's literally the first page. And so what the book does is it alternates between the past and the present, and the past is basically Griffin and Theo's relationship before they broke up, along with like everything that leads up to his death, and then the present is actually Griffin dealing with Theo's death and, you know, trying to come to terms with it and trying to grieve and move on. And Griffin actually ends up forming a relationship with Theo's boyfriend that he met in California, and it's just, oh my gosh, I know this book is gonna make me cry. First off, it's made me laugh so much, like the past parts with like Griffin and Theo, because Adam Silvera can write amazing characters. But yeah, I'm currently reading this. I sort of got into a little bit of my thoughts there, but I will give more when I finish this book and my wrap up. But so far, I'm loving it so much. So yes. And I sort of forgot about this book, but I am still currently reading The Odyssey by Homer for school, and I'm actually going to be finishing this tonight. So yeah, currently reading this, should be done with this by the time this video goes up, but yeah. Okay, and now I'm going to get into 2 buddy reads that I'm going to be doing this month with 2 of my very good friends here on BookTube. The first one is Furthermore by Tahira Mafi, and I'm going to be doing this with the wonderful Madeline from Madeline May. I will link her down below. We both really wanted to read this book, and we decided, hey, let's do it together. And we're sort of going to be buddy reading this like over the whole month. It's not really like planned out the specific week we're going to be doing it. Yeah, so this is Tahira Mafi's middle grade debut, and I've been getting so many requests to do a review for this book and to read this book, and I'm so happy that I finally get a chance to. This book is a middle grade book, like I just said, and it basically follows this girl in this world full of color, but she herself is colorless. And honestly, I don't even care what it's about because I love Tahira Mafi so much because I adored her Shatter Me trilogy, which is YA. It's one of my favorite YA trilogies of all time. I love her. So whatever she writes, I'm going to buy, even if it's middle grade, and I'm just so excited because I've heard wonderful things. I know it's really fun and it's quirky, and I just can't wait to get into it because Tahira Mafi is an amazing writer and her writing is so beautiful. And yeah, so I'm really excited to be reading this alongside Madeline. And the second buddy read I'm going to be doing this month is For the Rose and the Dagger by Renee Audier, and I'm going to be doing this with Kayla from Literature Reads. Again, I will link her down below. She she is such a sweetheart, and I'm so excited to finally be continuing on with this duology with her, because I read The Wrath of the Dawn over a year ago, and I got this book the day it came out, but I have yet to read it, and so now I finally have an excuse to. Like I said, this is the sequel to The Wrath of the Dawn. If you don't know, The Wrath of the Dawn is a retelling of 1001 Nights, and I loved it so much. I love Khalid and Shahrazad so much. I love them. So this is the sequel, and hopefully I can remember sort of what happened in The Wrath of the Dawn, because like I said, it was over a year ago that I read it, so I'm probably going to have to go online to read a little summary for it. But yeah, super excited to finally finish this duology, and yeah, so I'm really excited. And now I'm going to get into my 2 book club books that I have to read. So if you don't know, I go to 2 book clubs at my local bookstore. So yeah, and the first one I have to read is Flashfall by Jenny Moyer. Yeah, I have no idea what this book is about. I know it's sort of like an apocalyptic thing where they have to mine things and like whatever they mine can actually like cure like the symptoms of radiation or something like that. Anyway, this is an ARC. It comes out on November 15th, 2016, and we actually got ARCs for this book because she is actually coming to a signing at the bookstore the day of our book club, so she's going to join us for our book club, and then there's going to be a signing, and it's going to be lots of fun. And so yeah, we got ARCs of this book because we wouldn't have time to read it because she's coming the Saturday that it comes out, like of that week. So yeah, not really sure what it's about, but I'm really excited to meet her and chat with her about it, and yeah. And for my second book club, we are going to be reading Last Seen Leaving by Caleb Royrig, and I actually picked this book out because I actually met this author in an event that he was doing with Lee Bardugo, and he signed this book for me. It says, "Jill, into the darkness you go." And so he was honestly the most hilarious person ever. I love him. I'm not completely clear, like 100% what this book is about, but I know that it is a thriller, I know that it's a mystery, and I know it follows this guy whose girlfriend disappears, and he basically has to try to find out what happens to her, and as he's trying to figure out what happened to her, secrets come out, and he finds out that his girlfriend is basically been lying about a lot of things. So yeah, I was just sold because this author is just brilliant. I love him with all my heart. He's hilarious. So I just had to give his book a try, and yeah, so Last Seen Leaving, it should be good. Plus I love thrillers and mysteries, so it should be a good time. Now on to a few books that I personally just want to get to because it is time to get to these books. The first one is not going to come as a surprise, and that is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. So this book is the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I read Heir of Fire, and I immediately wanted to get into this book, but I stopped. I paced myself because I wanted to give myself a little bit of time to digest Heir of Fire, and also because I know I'm going to, if I read this book, I would finish it in like a day, and then I would read Empire Storms, and then I would not have any other books to read. So I'm going to be reading this book this month sometime, but I just wanted to give myself a little grace period so that I'm not completely strung out on it. But it's so good. Oh my gosh. Can't wait to read this. It should be so good. I'm so excited. And the final 2 books are books that have consistently been in my TBR videos for the last 4 months. So maybe if I continue to put them in these videos, I'll eventually get to them. And that is An Ember in the Ashes and A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. If you haven't heard this story before, because I feel like I've told it so many times, I read An Ember in the Ashes back like almost over a year ago, and I was on vacation and I wasn't really connected to it, but I've heard lots of people love it, so I want to reread it and then move on to the next book, because like I said, I just didn't really like it because I was just not in the mood for it when I was on vacation, and I completely forgot what happens in this book, so that's another reason why I have to reread it. So yeah, maybe I'll finally get to these. Maybe. I mean, I really need to, because I was planning on reading this book as soon as it came out, but that didn't happen. So sometime, I promise, sometime I will continue on with this series. So there you have it. That was my November TBR video. Thanks so much for watching. Give this video a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're not already, and comment down below what book you want to read the most this month. And yeah, I also have all of my social media linked down below. I have Goodreads, Instagram, and Twitter, so if you want to follow me on those platforms, they will be linked down below for your easy access. So yeah, thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later in another video. Bye!